Well, it has been a week since this whole thing with Charlie Kirk, and I'm sure dozens of Loudmouth Tim dedicated viewers are waiting to hear, "Hey Tim, what do you think about what happened?" Well, it's time to hear my thoughts on the subject. Long story short, I do not like it. It was a bad idea for this 22-year-old shooter to get his grandfather's old 30-06 rifle and get up on the roof and start throwing some bullets in his direction. And I think it's a real turning point in the whole Republican Democrat thing. Like Charlie Kirk's company was turning point, and it seems like an appropriate title for this here too, uh, because of what's happened. Now, I can understand up to a point if somebody is, running to be president or some other political office where they have the ability to make laws and change things, and someone wants to, throw some lead at them to stop them from doing that. That's not the best thing either, but that's one thing. But Charlie Kirk, he was like a bigger version of me. He had, like corporate backing and, money and big audiences. I don't have any of that stuff, coming to see the videos or see him in person. But he would go out there and he would say what he thought about different subjects and tell the liberal Democrats why they were wrong, which was, usually the case. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. You Democrats, I don't know how you think that your way is the right way for America, but it really is not. And what you're doing with immigration and crime and the economy and so many other things, these Democrats, they are just dead set that their way is right, and Trump and the Republicans are evil and stupid and wrong. And it's been proven over and over again that the Republican way and the way things are going now is the right way, and things are being made better. We have to go through a lot of hard things to get to the better place, but we're getting there. And Democrats have been fighting us the whole year, and all year long they've been making mistake after mistake after mistake. I am amazed that these Democrats think they're going to actually win offices come the 26 elections. And I'll say, the only Democrat I've seen making even some sense, surprisingly, is this John Fetterman. Now, he's far from being a Republican, but at least he doesn't just blindly follow his Democrat leaders and do what they do and think what they tell him to think. At least he thinks for himself and says what he thinks. So that's, half a point for him, so, at least, he'll do that part right. But back to the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Yeah, that was taking things way too far. And I think it's the final step. We've been putting up with the Democrats and the liberals and all their crazy stuff all year long and even longer than a year ago. And, I think it's going to end now. And we've had enough of them screaming and wailing and wanting their way for everything and just blindly accept what they think is right. I think they're going to start to get a lot of pushback now. They're going to have a much bigger fight on their hands now after one of their people pulled this. So, not a good situation to be in. Now, I was a somewhat Charlie Kirk watcher. I mean, I didn't, watch his videos every single day or seek out his website and go to his stuff every single day, but his videos frequently came up in my YouTube videos to watch selections, and I would watch them when I saw them, and I always enjoyed them too because some liberal is out there screaming their head off, trying to make a point, and they're just as wrong as they can be, being a liberal Democrat. And Charlie Kirk would just tell them what was wrong and tell them what was right, and that was it. And they just could not accept it. So it was always very entertaining. And I've been, seeing a lot more Charlie Kirk videos lately here, things that have come up from the past there and past videos. And just, win after win after win. And this one Democrat, they just get so furious and frustrated, and they just, drives them crazy. And one of them here, he finally, took it a little bit too far. And, well, he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life, or I hope get the death penalty. Now, about that, my first reaction is give him the death penalty. He gets what he gave. But then again, part of me thinks that's too easy. Let him sit in a jail cell for the rest of his life. Let it take a little longer. So, he gets what he gets. He's going to get something big, so we'll see what happens. It's not up to me, so whatever. So I would like to hear your comments on this. Write some comments down below. Contribute to my watch hours for the whole channel because, need to get a lot more watch hours going here. And write what you think about this. I would like to see the Democrats. They've been, some of these Democrats, they've been, making their own videos. Oh yeah, it's so great this happened. Yeah, and they're getting, fired from jobs and getting in trouble in their political offices and things like that. Yeah, well, think what you want, but you probably shouldn't make a video about that. So me, it's tough situation to have to deal with here, and it's too bad that it had to happen. But it didn't have to happen. It's one liberal, with his trans boyfriend, and this kid was apparently he was raised Republican, and Mormon and all that in Utah. And he went to college and he believed all this stuff they were telling him in college. And he, freaks out and gets a trainee boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm not even sure which way that was going. Yeah. And then he does all this. Yeah, well, okay. What do all the Democrats think about him? They probably would be saying, okay, you disagree with him, but you shouldn't have, got up on the roof there with a thing, Oh, well, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not happy about the whole thing having happened. So, fight the good fight, and keep proving these Democrats wrong because it amazes me, how they think they're right. And their stuff has been proven over and over to be wrong for America. Like, oh, no, it's got to be this way. No, it doesn't. No, it won't be. So they put themselves in a bad situation here. And they made it a lot worse for themselves by doing this. So, time to do the whole turning point thing and, start to really give them a lot of pushback. They're not just going to be, given their free pass anymore to do what they want and say what they want. Are you saying we're wrong? Are you protesting against us? Are you against what we're for? Well, time to say, yeah, we are against what you're for because your way is wrong and you've caused trouble and you've made problems and crime and this and that and oh well. All right, I'm gonna make this. What is already 7 minutes in this video? Wow. Okay. Anyhow, long enough. So hit the like button if you can. Help my watch hours get up there some more. Write your comments in there and tell me what you think.